Hello everybody, welcome back to a new video. This video is a little bit longer than the others because I'm going to be talking about my sudden interest in anthropomorphic drawings, and I actually have a kind of funny story to go with it. So let's start with what inspired me to do this. So I don't know, for a long time I've just been kind of an admirer. I've been an admirer of people who like draw anthro characters and stuff and furry art, because I thought it was so cool. And I also like grew up watching a lot of things where most of the stuff was anthropomorphic or whatever. Is that how you say anthropomorphic? I don't know. Yeah, so I'm just gonna say anthro. And that led me into my current interest now. I started this comic idea, and it's basically about these animals that are in a dogfighting ring, and I don't want to say everything because I feel like spoilers, but it's about these three dogs that are in a dogfighting ring, and they end up escaping and try to learn how to live an average, untraumatized life. And basically, Limo's the first character. I really love Limo. I think that she's the sweetheart-go-lucky one, even though they're in the midst of like drama and pain and everything. She really likes to be kind-hearted and let things roll off her back, even when she's going through a hard time. Like, she will be almost toxically positive if she feels as though she can avoid, her problems the most that way. Then this is Boxer. Boxer's like the eldest one, and Boxer is very aggressive, very tough, very buff and big, and is also very sweet, but has a more hard exterior and only really gets along with Limo. A lot of people don't really like her because of how angry she gets and how much she doesn't want people to be around her. She's like really always pushing people away, so people aren't really fond of her. And then we have Rocky. Now Rocky is a Chihuahua. Rocky is very small and is always like trying her best to get out. She's the main one who's like ready to leave. She's rebellious and quite a good leader, despite being tiny and also being the youngest one and the newest person to be imprisoned. But even throughout all that, she's also the one who puts up so much of a fight that they give her the biggest collar. She wins all of her fights despite not wanting to participate in them, and she's like the big catalyst for their new life. And yeah, she just reminds me of Claudia from Interview with the Vampire a bit. Has a lot of ambition. I kind of tweaked some of my art style for this, like not drawing their eyes and everything. And then I have two cats that I want to have in the story as well. I haven't chosen their names or anything. I know I want a Sphinx cat and a tabby cat. The Sphinx will be hairless, of course, and then the tabby will be like very much Garfield looking. I wanted to add a little bit more color into my palette. All the girls have like soft earthy colors, and so I wanted these to be pink and orange. I really want it to be simple. I'm thinking of starting the comic once I feel more comfortable drawing backgrounds. I like my other comic as well, but this feels so straightforward and simple and not as ambitious. I also want to have one more character that's like the adultish person, but I haven't figured out who they would be just yet. For the rest of these drawings, I wanted to do more of a full body approach because I haven't drawn any of the bodies, really. I've just been drawing their faces, and I studied from this artist called Charmsy, and from another artist as well. I will be linking them in the description if you want to check out their art, but be careful. If they say no minors, that means no minors. Don't look, okay? But yeah, I just really like got into it, and I'm like loving it now. I think it's so fun. I want to create so many different characters. I want to draw everything that I could possibly draw, like every animal ever. I want to have like a llama character, an alpaca character, dragon, everything. I'm obsessed. I haven't drawn their tails. Oh my gosh, I didn't draw any of their tails. But yeah, I also really have not had such a like simple story. My other story has so much characters, so it's like nice to just not sweat it for a moment. It's really straightforward. They're just three girls, three teenagers, three doggies, three doggos, in the beginning their teen years, and they've suffered a lot, and so they're just coming of age. There's a lot of different interpretations of girlhood and everything, and that's kind of what this is focused on. Not comparing girls to dogs or anything, but like those themes of like girlhood, of like coming of age, similar to the Wilds. Like they're going through so much, but it shows like who they are to their character in some of their worst moments and in everything. Oh my gosh, I forgot to draw off the chewed air on one of them again. But yeah, I don't want to forget these details because I feel like it's so important to their characters, and I feel like I'm getting to experiment with my art style in a way that I just haven't been before, which I'm so excited to be able to do that. All of the girls are incredibly muscular because they're in a dog fighting ring, and they're not eating a lot, but they are training in order to fight each other, and yes, they do kill each other. And if you're wondering why Rocky, Boxer, and Limo aren't dead, it's because they are all under the same like person. Like they have like the same dog owner, so he wouldn't want them to kill each other. They're his best fighters. He brings in all the trophies with them. And yeah, it's like, I feel like it's like really grim to think about that. Like, why did I come up with this thing? But I like stuff like that. Most of the shows and media I consume are pretty more on the like crazy side, or like darkish media side. Like I love gore and stuff like that. Like I love The Boys, but one thing I really like hate inexplicably is cannibals. But I was gonna tell you, I'm getting off track. I was gonna tell you a story about like never doing anything related to anthro stuff, and how I was like scared of something when I was little. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the books Anthropomorphs or whatever, and like on the cover they would show like a rat to human and show like all the in between stages of a transformation. Those books creeped me out so much. I hated that cover art. I'm that person was talented and they did what they needed to do, but it creeped me out so much, dude. It's like ridiculous. I hated it. And yeah, I hated it. I haven't thought about if there's gonna be a guy in the story. I really only have girl characters right now. Both of the cats are also girls, and I haven't named them. If you have any good ideas for cat names that would be like street cats, I don't want them to not have any names. I'm thinking I'm gonna give you like a little bit of a better description so you know what I'm thinking for both of them. The Sphinx cat will be like sly but well-hearted. Like, they're just gonna be like a little bit sarcastic, but still not a mean person. They're not gonna be mean or anything, or scammy or whatever. They're protective, and they're protective of the people they love. And while she's a bit of a loner, she also knows that the most important thing is to have people that will watch your back. So she always makes sure to do that as well. I don't exactly remember where this idea came from, but then I suddenly realized I wanted to have a tabby cat character as well. Now the tabby cat and the Sphinx cat are best friends. I'm thinking the tabby cat is going to be extremely smart, but people always think that she's gullible just because of how she looks. They're thinking like, oh, that's a person right there that I can pull one over on. She makes sure to use that to her advantage. She is like extremely strong, and I think when she meets these dogs, she's like, this is my type of people. She's the one who's like, I want us and the Sphinx to hang out together. And the Sphinx is like, I guess if you want more people, you're the one who's interacting with them all the time. Like, I'm just here because this is safety in numbers more than anything. Is there a cat ring? Nobody asked this question, but I'm saying no. I think it's just the dogs that they want to fight. I think cats wouldn't even listen or try to do that. There's other forms of like animal racing and everything, but more often than not, the dog fighting is illegal, and people just want them to do it because it gets a lot of money. Like, people pay a lot of money to watch these dogs rip each other apart, and most of the dogs doing the work are like extremely young. They're always going to be like teen or kids. They don't want to see adults who are slow or with lots of injuries. They want, these prized people. So eventually they will get thrown out once they reach a certain age, but yeah, since all of the girls are like at their peak, there's no worry of that. And also, eventually they leave the ring, That's not like a spoiler to me at all. I feel like that's something you should know up front. I didn't want to do hair for their designs or clothes at this particular moment. I just wanted to get an idea of what their bodies would look like, big arms, muscular, lithe, whatever. Rocky's supposed to be much shorter than Boxer. Boxer is the tallest and the burliest. She's like Luisa from the Encanto, and I would say Rocky is more like Mirabelle, small, but fast like Camilo. And I don't know who Limo would be in this case in my comparison. Oh, the mom, maybe. No. That's more like Sphinx-like. I think Peppa is more Sphinx-like, and Limo, I can't think of a character she would be like in the Encanto series, but yeah. Anyway, I don't know why that came up with that comparison, but I had a lot of fun doing this. I haven't drawn on my tablet in a long time. I've mainly been drawing on my iPad, and so it was a bit of a shift, but I still ended up having a good time. And this time I saved all the brushes I used, so I don't have to go and get confused again. Like, every time I go into Clip Studio Paint, I'm like, which brushes will I use? And I did end up getting the version 3 of it because they were having a sale, and I was like, when will I get this price again? I didn't end up getting the one with the animation and everything, even though I did the first time around. I had saved up for that though, and I didn't do it this time around because I'm not really doing animation that much, and if I want to, I think I would just do it on my iPad. And I still have version 1 for the animation, right? I think so. Actually, I don't know, but yeah, so it's okay with me. Just popping back in here one more time to talk about creating characters and stuff and story writing. So I think I used to be better at trying to complete stories when I was younger. I used to write a lot, like after I would finish a test or something, I would just write to my heart's content chapters and stuff about made up stories that I completely forget about now. I have no idea what I was writing back then, but usually when I do things now, it's much easier to come up with the story idea I have and like not see it through. I also used to write fan fiction at some point, and like now I just don't finish out my stories when I do them at all. And obviously I hate it, and I don't exactly know what makes it so that like happens for me, but that's just been where I'm at. It's so weird. I think the thing about the story is that I do feel some sort of inspiration again. I don't think I want it to be long or anything, and the main focus isn't anything to do with like, you know, the horrors that are going on, but rather everything after. So there's a part of me that feels like it'll be a little bit easier. I don't know what inspired me to make Limo smile, but that's what it ended up being in the end. She's like started smiling like I'm the champion, showing off her muscles, and yeah, there's that happy-go-lucky energy that I think she has. Obviously the situation that she's in is like really dire, so it's not real, it's not authentic. But she's been there so long, so it's like obviously eventually she's gonna have to express more emotions than just sadness about her situation, since there's not much she can do about it. For the details of the like fur and everything, I just end up doing like tiny hair strokes so that you can tell there's still fur on the body and everything, and add a little bit of shading. Just I should have added more shading in the shape of fur to infer that, but basically everything that I just do with art is keep it simple. That's all I ever want to do, and I've been having a great time with that. So it's time to expand onto buildings and stuff, which I'm so scared of. Buildings and props. I'm still trying to do that. It's like I'm just so nervous about it. I don't know. It seems so hard for me.